The ultimatum. The Galactic Council sits in emergency session aboard the massive space station Unity's End. Representatives from 12 alien species gather around the circular chamber, their various forms creating an otherworldly assembly. The reptilian Chancellor Vex calls the meeting to order with his deep, rasping voice. The topic is humanity, the new species that emerged from the third spiral arm just 50 years ago. They call themselves humans, and they have become a problem. Admiral Rex, a tall insectoid warrior, stands to address the council. His kind, the Mantis Federation, controls 3 star systems and commands respect through military might. He explains how humans have been expanding too quickly, settling on planets without proper authorization from the council. They ignore our borders. Rex clicks through his mandibles. They take what they want. They must be stopped. The aquatic delegate Blue agrees with flowing musical tones. Her people value order and ancient traditions. Humans disrupt the careful balance that has kept peace in the galaxy for 3,000 years. But it's not just their expansion. Humans are different. They don't follow the same rules as other species. When threatened, most civilizations negotiate, retreat, or submit. Humans do something else entirely. The evidence is presented. 3 months ago, human ships destroyed a Mantis patrol that tried to enforce a quarantine. 2 weeks later, human colonists refused to evacuate from a disputed world. When the reptilian fleet arrived to remove them by force, the humans fought, back with weapons that shouldn't exist. The Council reviews the tactical reports. Human technology is primitive compared to galactic standards. Their ships are slower, their weapons weaker, their shields basic. Yet somehow, they keep winning fights they should lose. Chancellor Vex reveals the real reason for this meeting. Intelligence. Reports suggest humans are developing something new. Something that has the Council's scientific advisors worried. The humans call it Project Dawn. The debate begins. Some Council members want immediate military action. Others prefer economic, sanctions, or diplomatic pressure. The ethereal representative Ghost speaks in whispers about the ancient warnings, stories of species that grew too dangerous and had to be eliminated. Admiral Rex proposes a solution. Send the humans an ultimatum. Give them one final chance to submit to Council authority. If they refuse, the combined fleets of 12 species will end the human problem permanently. The vote is called. 11 species agree. Only the youngest Council member, Stone of the Rocky People, abstains. His species barely survived their own first contact with the Council centuries ago. He knows what extinction looks like. The message is prepared and transmitted to Earth. The humans have 30 standard days to surrender their military, abandon their outer colonies, and accept permanent Council oversight. If they refuse, their species will be destroyed. On Earth, President Ward receives the ultimatum. In his underground bunker, the surface of humanity's homeworld shows the scars of their rapid industrialization, sprawling cities, orbital elevators, and massive shipyards that work around the clock. Ward calls his military leaders together. General Pike commands the Space Defense Force. Admiral Kane leads the Colonial Fleet. Dr. Gray oversees the scientific research divisions, including Project Dawn. They discuss their options. Earth's total military consists of 200 ships scattered across 15 star systems. The Council can field over 3,000 vessels, each more advanced than humanity's best. Dr. Gray speaks quietly about Project Dawn. The research is nearly complete, but they need more time. At least 6 months, maybe a year. The Council is only giving them 30 days. General Pike suggests they could evacuate the outer colonies, pull back to Earth's solar system, and try to negotiate better terms. Admiral Kane argues for a preemptive strike, hit the Council's forward bases before they can organize their full fleet. President Ward listens to all options. Then, he makes his decision. Humanity will not run. They will not hide. They will not beg for mercy from aliens who see them as insects to be crushed. The response is drafted and sent back to the Council. It consists of only 2 words. Come try. On the Unity's End station, Chancellor Vex reads the human response, aloud to the assembled Council. The chamber falls silent. No species has ever replied to a Council ultimatum with defiance. Admiral Rex begins mobilizing his fleets. The other council members follow suit. Within days, ships from across the galaxy begin moving toward human space. The largest military force in galactic history prepares to end humanity's brief existence. But on Earth, Dr. Gray works feverishly in her laboratory. Project Dawn is almost ready. The humans may not have time, but they have something else. They have determination. And they have each other. The war for humanity's survival is about to begin. First contact with death. The Council's advance fleet arrives at the edge of human space with overwhelming force. 300 ships led by Admiral Rex's flagship Dominion take position at the border system of New Hope. The planet below holds 2 million human colonists. Rex opens communications with the colonial governor, a former military officer named Cross. The Admiral's translated voice crackles through the speakers in the planet's command center. This is Admiral Rex of the Mantis Federation speaking for the Galactic Council. You will evacuate this world immediately. Your people have 6 hours to board transport ships and leave the system. Governor Cross, a gray-haired woman with steel in her eyes, responds calmly. This is our home now. We're not leaving. Rex clicks his mandibles in annoyance. These humans never learn. Governor, I have 300 warships in orbit. You have no military vessels in this system. This is not a negotiation. You're right, Cross agrees. It's not. The transmission cuts. Rex orders his fleet to begin orbital bombardment positions. The massive council ships move into formation above New Hope cities. Their weapons are designed to disable infrastructure, forcing evacuation without massive casualties. The council prefers to conquer worlds intact. But as the fleet moves, something unexpected happens. The space around New Hope shimmers like heat waves rising from hot ground. Council sensors detect massive energy readings coming from nothing. Empty space itself seems to be generating power. Dr. Bell, the fleet's chief scientist, reports to Admiral Rex. Sir, we're detecting gravitational anomalies throughout the system. Something is distorting space-time on a massive scale. Rex dismisses the concern. Human technology is primitive. Whatever they're attempting cannot threaten a council fleet. He gives the order to fire. The first wave of energy beams lances down toward New Hope's capital city. But instead of striking buildings, the beams hit what appears to be empty air and dissipate harmlessly. The shimmer in space grows stronger. Shields? Rex demands. No, sir. The energy readings don't match any known shield technology. It's something else entirely. On New Hope's surface, Governor Cross watches the alien attack fail from her command bunker. Around her, technicians monitor readings from Project Dawn's first field test. The orbital defense grid is working perfectly, but this is just the beginning. Cross opens a channel to Admiral Rex. Admiral, you should know something about humans. We don't just defend, we attack. Rex barely has time to process her words before his sensors explode with warnings. The shimmer in space suddenly solidifies into something impossible, a massive structure that wasn't there moments before. It's a space station. No, it's larger than a station. The thing that materializes near his fleet is the size of a small moon, bristling with weapons that appear to be charging for firing. How? Rex whispers. Dr. Bell's voice shakes as he reports. Sir, it appears the humans have mastered dimensional folding technology. That structure was hidden in folded space until now. Rex stares at the human superweapon through his ship's viewports. In all his years of service, he has never seen technology like this. The Council's greatest scientists theorized about dimensional manipulation, but no species had ever achieved it. The human station opens fire. But these aren't energy beams or projectile weapons. The humans have weaponized space itself. Reality tears and twists around council ships. Vessels that have survived 1,000 battles simply stop existing. Not destroyed, not damaged. Erased from the universe, as if they were never built. In minutes, half of Rex's fleet is gone. The remaining ships try to retreat, but the humans aren't finished. More structures unfold from dimensional space around the fleeing council vessels. Entire fleets of human ships that were somehow hidden in the folds of reality. Admiral Rex realizes the trap. The humans didn't just defend New Hope. They turned the entire system into a weapon. His flagship shudders as reality bends around it. Rex manages to send one message back to the Council before the Dominion joins its sister ships in oblivion. The humans, they're not using technology. They're using physics itself as a weapon. The Council must know, must warn. The transmission cuts to static. On New Hope, Governor Cross receives a report from her military advisor. Of the 300 Council ships that entered the system, only 12 escaped to hyperspace. The rest were erased from existence by humanity's first demonstration of Project Dawn. Cross nods grimly. The real war hasn't even started yet. This was just humanity's way of saying hello. She opens communications to Earth. Mr. President, Phase 1 is complete. The Council knows what we can do now. They'll be coming with everything they have. President Ward's voice carries across the light years. Then we'll be ready for them. But, ready for what? The Council doesn't know that Project Dawn has other capabilities. Capabilities that will redefine what extinction means. The mathematics of annihilation. The emergency council session convenes in panic. Of Admiral Rex's 300 ships, only 12 returned with their crews driven to madness by what they witnessed. The survivors speak of reality bending, ships vanishing into nothing, and humans who wield the universe itself as a weapon. Chancellor Vex struggles to maintain order as the council members voice their fears. The ethereal delegate Ghost whispers about ancient warnings, stories of species that discovered powers beyond comprehension and used them to reshape existence. The tactical reports make no sense, announces Dr. Mind, the Council's chief scientist. According to our survivors, the humans erased matter from the universe. Not destroyed, erased. This violates every law of physics we understand. The aquatic. Representative Blue flows her concerns in musical tones. Perhaps we underestimated them. Perhaps we should negotiate. No. The interruption comes from Fury, the new Mantis commander who replaced the lost Admiral Rex. My people died out there. Every ship in the 7th Fleet gone. The humans must pay. Chancellor Vex calls for silence. We need to understand what we're facing. The humans called their weapon Project Dawn. Our intelligence suggests this is only the beginning of their capabilities. The rock delegate Stone speaks slowly, his mountain-like form shifting. My people have legends. Stories of the first ones who came before the Council. They developed powers like this. The universe itself rejected them. They vanished, leaving only warnings carved in quantum foam. Ghost nods with ethereal agreement. The humans have found something that should remain lost. They threaten not just the Council, but reality itself. On Earth, President Ward meets with his inner circle in the deep bunkers beneath the Capitol. The surface world continues its frantic preparations. Massive shipyards work around the clock. Orbital platforms appear daily, and Project Dawn facilities spread across dozens of star systems. Dr. Gray reports on their progress. The New Hope. Demonstration was just our basic defensive configuration. We've now completed Phase 2 installations in 8 systems. When the Council returns, they'll face something entirely different. General Pike reviews intelligence reports from their deep space monitoring stations. The Council is mobilizing. Everything. We count over 5,000 ships converging on their staging areas. Every member species is contributing their entire military. Admiral Kane adds grimly. They're bringing planet killers. Weapons designed to sterilize entire worlds. They're not planning to conquer us anymore. They want us extinct. President Ward considers this information. Humanity has perhaps 1,000 ships total, scattered across their colonial systems. Even with Project Dawn, the numbers seem impossible. Dr. Gray, what's our timeline for Phase 3? Gray hesitates. Phase 3 is different, Mr. President. We've discovered that Project Dawn isn't just about manipulating space and time. It's about manipulating the fundamental structure of reality itself. The implications are staggering. She activates a holographic display showing the quantum foam that underlies all existence. Tiny fluctuations in the fabric of space-time dance before them. Every particle, every force, every law of physics exists because of patterns in this quantum substrate. By manipulating these patterns, we can rewrite the rules of reality within specific regions. Change the strong nuclear force, and atoms fall apart. Alter electromagnetic constants and electronics fail. Modify gravitational fields and planets tear themselves apart. The room falls silent as the implications sink in. General Pike speaks first. You're talking about rewriting physics itself as a weapon. Not just as a weapon, Gray corrects, as an absolute defense. We can create zones where Council technology simply cannot function. Regions where their weapons don't work, their ships can't fly, their armor becomes useless. And the risks? President Ward asks. Gray's expression darkens. If we miscalculate, we could unravel local spacetime. Entire star systems could collapse into quantum singularities. We're playing with forces that created the universe. Across the galaxy, the Council's combined fleet begins its final approach to human space. 5,000 ships carrying weapons that could crack planets. The largest military force in galactic history, united in a single purpose: humanity's extinction. But, in laboratories hidden throughout human space, scientists work with equations that describe reality itself. They've learned to read the universe's source code and rewrite it at will. The Council believes they're bringing overwhelming force against primitive humans. They don't understand that humanity has moved beyond technology, beyond weapons, beyond conventional warfare. When the fleets meet, it won't be a battle. It will be a demonstration of what happens when one species learns to command existence itself. The Council is about to discover that when humans said they didn't issue threats, they meant it literally. There is no threat when you can simply delete your enemies from reality. Phase 3 of Project Dawn is ready for field testing. When reality becomes a weapon, the Council's grand fleet emerges from hyperspace at the edge of Earth's solar system. 5,000 ships in perfect formation, representing every major civilization in the galaxy. Chancellor Vex commands from the super dreadnought Final Word, a vessel the size of a city built specifically for this war. Maintain formation, Vex. Orders. Begin system-wide sensor sweeps. The humans will try their dimensional tricks again, but the humans are nowhere to be seen. Earth's system appears empty except for the small blue world and its single moon. No defensive fleets, no orbital stations, no sign of the technology that erased Admiral Rex's forces. Commander Fury reports from the Mantis battle group. Sir, we're detecting no military vessels in the system. Our sensors show only civilian colonies and research stations. It's a trap, warns Dr. Mind. The humans are hiding their forces in folded space like they did at New Hope. Chancellor Vex agrees. The humans are cunning, but the Council has prepared for their tricks. The fleet carries reality anchors, devices designed to prevent dimensional manipulation. The humans cannot surprise them again. All ships, advance to Earth orbit. Deploy reality anchors at maximum range. Prepare for planetary bombardment. The massive fleet moves inward, weapons charging. 5,000 ships with enough firepower to reduce Earth to asteroid debris. The Council will end humanity's threat permanently. On Earth's surface, President Ward watches the approaching fleet from his command bunker. Around him, technicians monitor the planet's Phase 3 installations. Hidden beneath every major city, quantum manipulation devices hum with barely contained power. Dr. Gray, status report. Gray's voice carries excitement and terror in equal measure. Phase 3 is fully operational, Mr. President. We can rewrite the fundamental constants of physics throughout the solar system. The Council's reality anchors won't help them. And the risks? If we lose control, we could collapse local spacetime and create a black hole where Earth used to be. But if we don't act, the Council will kill every human alive. Ward nods grimly. Do it. Dr. Gray activates Project Dawn's final phase. The change begins subtly. Council ships report minor instrument malfunctions. Navigation systems show impossible readings. Energy weapons discharge at random. Communications experience strange delays. Chancellor Vex demands explanations from his science teams. What's happening to our systems? Dr. Mind's voice shakes as he responds. Sir, the humans aren't just manipulating space-time. They're changing the fundamental constants of physics. The speed of light is fluctuating. Gravity is becoming inconsistent. The strong nuclear force is weakening. As the Council fleet advances, the effect intensifies. Ships designed to function in normal space-time begin failing as reality itself becomes hostile to their existence. Fusion reactors sputter as nuclear forces weaken. Energy shields collapse as electromagnetic constants shift. Gravity drives tear themselves apart as space-time curvature becomes unpredictable. But the humans have done something even more devastating. They've created zones of altered physics that specifically target Council technology while leaving human systems unaffected. Areas where Council weapons cannot fire, where their shields cannot form, where their ships cannot maintain structural integrity. Commander Fury watches his battle group disintegrate as reality wars against their existence. My ships are falling apart. The hull plating is losing molecular cohesion. Similar reports flood in from across the fleet. 5,000 ships, the pride of galactic civilization, reduced to helpless debris by physics itself. The Council brought overwhelming force, but force means nothing when the universe refuses to cooperate. Chancellor Vex realizes the truth as his flagship begins breaking apart at the molecular level. The humans haven't just mastered technology, they've mastered existence itself. They can rewrite the rules that govern matter and energy. In desperation, Vex attempts to retreat, but even hyperspace drives fail in the altered physics zones. The Council fleet is trapped in a reality that humanity controls absolutely. From Earth's surface, Governor Cross of New Hope, now serving as military coordinator, opens communications to the dying fleet. Her voice carries no triumph, only grim determination. Chancellor Vex, you came here to commit genocide, to erase humanity from existence. You should know that we've learned a few things about erasure ourselves. Vex manages to respond from his collapsing flagship. What do you want? Nothing from you. But there are other Council worlds, other fleets being prepared. They need to understand what happened here. Cross nods to Dr. Gray, who makes a final adjustment to Project Dawn. The quantum field around Earth's solar system stabilizes into a new configuration. The altered physics become permanent, creating a region of space where only human technology can function. A zone of controlled reality that extends from the Sun to beyond Pluto's orbit. But the demonstration isn't over. As the surviving Council ships watch in horror, humanity begins expanding the effect. Other star systems throughout human space flicker as their fundamental constants change. Region after region becomes hostile to non-human technology. The message is clear. Humanity can turn any part of the galaxy into a dead zone for their enemies. They don't need to chase down every Council world. They can simply make those worlds uninhabitable for Council species while remaining perfectly safe for humans. Extinction, delivered not through destruction, but through cosmic exile. The new Universe 6 months after the Battle of Earth, the Galactic Council meets for what everyone knows will be their final session. The great chamber aboard Unity's End feels hollow. Half the seats are empty. The species that once ruled the galaxy now huddle in fear on their remaining worlds. Chancellor Vex, his reptilian form showing signs of exhaustion and defeat, calls the meeting to order. His flagship was one of only a dozen Council vessels to escape Earth's system by jury-rigging emergency hyperspace drives with incompatible technologies. We must discuss terms, Vex announces. The words taste like poison, but reality has left them no choice. The surviving Council members represent fragments of once great civilizations. The Mantis Federation has lost 90% of its fleet. The aquatic domains face refugees fleeing star systems where their water-breathing biology no longer functions properly. The ethereal collective watches helplessly as their energy-based forms destabilize in regions where humanity has altered electromagnetic constants. Commander Stone of the Rocky people speaks with grinding sadness. My homeworld is gone, not destroyed, uninhabitable. The humans changed the gravitational constant in our system. Our mountain cities collapsed under their own weight. 1 billion of my people died as our world became alien to us. Similar reports echo around the chamber. Humanity's expansion continues across the galaxy, but they don't conquer worlds in any traditional sense. They simply rewrite local physics to make those worlds uninhabitable for their previous occupants, while perfectly suited for human colonization. The process is methodical and absolute. A human fleet arrives in a system, deploys quantum manipulation devices, and adjusts reality itself. Gravity becomes too strong or too weak for native species. Atmospheric chemistry changes to poison non-human biology. Even space itself becomes hostile to alien technology. Ghost whispers of the latest intelligence reports. They've established zones of human physics around 300 star systems. Any ship we send there simply falls apart at the molecular level. We cannot fight them. We cannot reach them. We cannot even communicate with them unless they allow it. But the most terrifying aspect isn't the scope of humanity's expansion. It's their precision. They don't commit genocide in any conventional sense. They relocate entire populations to compatible worlds outside human space. They preserve alien species like specimens in a cosmic zoo, carefully maintained in reservations where their native physics still apply. Dr. Mind, his crystalline form flickering with distress, presents the Council's analysis. The humans have achieved something we believed impossible. They've become immune to retaliation. Even if we developed weapons capable of destroying their worlds, we cannot deliver those weapons through regions of altered physics. Chancellor Vex receives an incoming transmission. The communication arrives through quantum channels that bypass normal space-time. Humanity's way of reaching them despite the physics barriers. President Ward's image appears in the council chamber. The human leader looks older, more worn by the responsibilities of reshaping reality itself. Chancellor Vex, honorable council members, Ward begins formally. I'm transmitting the final terms for coexistence. The document that appears before them is simple but absolute. Humanity claims a sphere of influence encompassing roughly 30% of the galaxy, all systems within their expanding zones of altered physics. The remaining space belongs to the surviving council species with strict borders that neither side may cross. You call this coexistence? Vex challenges. You've taken our worlds, exiled our people, turned the universe itself against us. Ward's expression remains calm. You came to our system with 5,000 ships intent on committing genocide. You wanted to erase humanity from existence. We've simply ensured that never happens again. By making yourselves gods, Commander Fury interjects, you control reality itself now. In our space, yes, Ward acknowledges, just as you controlled the galaxy for 3,000 years in yours. The difference is that we don't demand tribute, submission, or forced assimilation. We simply want to be left alone. The implications sink in. Humanity has achieved perfect defense through perfect offense. They cannot be attacked, cannot be threatened, cannot be controlled. They exist in their own version of the universe where the laws of physics bow to human will, but they've also shown restraint. The refugee camps on Council worlds house billions of displaced aliens, all fed, sheltered, and cared for by human resources. Humanity could have simply erased everyone from existence but chose exile instead. Chancellor Vex realizes they have no choice. The Council can accept humanity's terms or face complete extinction. There will be no third option. We accept, he announces to the chamber. Several Council members begin to protest, but Vex cuts them off. The alternative is the end of all non-human life in the galaxy. At least this way our species survive. The formal signing takes place through quantum transmission. Humanity becomes the galaxy's first truly independent civilization, not subject to Council authority, because Council authority cannot touch them. In the months that follow, a strange peace settles over the galaxy. Humanity continues expanding their zones of altered physics, but at a slower pace. They establish trade with some Council species, sharing technology and resources across the physics barriers through carefully controlled exchange points. The younger generation of aliens grows up in a universe where humans are not enemies or overlords, but neighbors who happen to live in regions where different rules apply. Children born in the refugee settlements learn that the universe is bigger and stranger than their parents ever imagined. On Earth, Dr. Gray works on Project Dawn's next phase, not expansion but refinement. They're learning to create regions of space where multiple physics systems can coexist, allowing different species to share worlds while each experiencing their preferred version of reality. President Ward, now in his 70s, addresses the human colonies on the anniversary of the Battle of Earth. His words are broadcast across 300 star systems, where humanity has made the impossible real. "We never wanted to become the dominant species in the galaxy," he says. "We just wanted to survive. But survival, we learned, sometimes requires rewriting the rules of existence itself." He pauses, looking out at stars that now shine with human-controlled light. "The universe is vast enough for all of us. We've simply claimed our place in it, permanently." Behind him, the quantum manipulation devices hum quietly, maintaining the zones of altered physics that ensure humanity's eternal security. Reality itself has become their fortress, and they are its undisputed masters. The galaxy has learned that humanity doesn't issue threats, they deliver new universes instead. The end.